All right, when you talk about charisma, you have to talk about this team. Michael Hayes and gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, Precious.
How you doing, David? I gotta tell you something. Well, all three of us are real excited. I mean, we're right in the middle of a bunch of bunkhouse stampedes from coast to coast. And not only that, let me tell you something. It's not my fault that the Four Horsemen are having problems. I know I haven't said that in a long time, but I've had a lot of things on my mind. But I'm starting to come down to earth now with Michael P.S. Hayes and my squeeze beside me, and we're getting excited about something else too. We're getting excited about the World Tag Team titles, because let me tell you something, I'm not gonna take nothing away from the guy that's always in a bad mood, Tully Blanchard.
Are you in a bad mood too if you had a face like that to walk around with?
I guess so. With a face like that, I'd be a little bit mad myself. And Arn Anderson, because they are great athletes. They are the World Tag Team Champions, even though they cheat. It's like going to Africa for the big game. There ain't no use going to Africa and hunting some rabbit with big long ears. We might as well go for the big stuff. And the big stuff is Arn Anderson and the guy that's always in a bad mood, Tully Blanchard. We're coming after you, and we're going to take your titles. Go with it, Michael.
Well, you know, what a wicked web we weave when first we try to deceive. And they telling people there is no dissension. But you see, there is dissension in the Four Horsemen. And it is at that time, the prime time, when they are most vulnerable, because we got matches lined up. And it is ripe for the picking. It is time for the fall. And I guarantee you and promise you, very soon, Michael P.S. Hayes, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, World Tag Team Champions. Because, baby, we got what it takes to take what you got like 4 peas in a pot, and the peas will be jumping if the water wasn't hot.
We had, say what? A whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is my house. And when I say who's house,
word attack skills and vocabulary too. Cover hits in this edition is all brand new. You're through. I'm interplanetary and like Doctor Who. So who?
Fuck your beef, no relief. I step on stage, girls scream like I'm Keith.
Everybody get ready for Life in the Fastlane. WWE presents its new annual pay-per-view Fastlane Sunday, live on the WWE Network. We here at Ringtime Pro Wrestling are going to give you the full breakdown. Keith and Keisha are in the building. Keisha, say hi to the people.
Hey, what's going on? Why am I so loud every week? You know, I gotta look into that. I don't know. I mean, hey, if you're gonna say hey, be elaborate with it. Just don't be too elaborate with it. Can't deal with all that.
Here we go for another one. Been an interesting week in wrestling. A lot of things going down. We will give you the full breakdown and recap of what we saw, what we think we're going to see, and we should have an interesting week. We got some updates on some things we talked about last week. The Titus O'Neil suspension, people retiring left and right, news about Daniel Bryan and what's going on with him, news about Jerry the King Lawler. So we're going to go all the way into it. But without further ado, let's kick it from Monday, Raw. Keish, Dean Ambrose opens up a show and gets into it with Stephanie McMahon and fucks around, loses the Intercontinental title in a Fatal 5-Way match.
Fatal 5-Way.
It's him, Kevin Owens, Tyler Breeze, Dolph Ziggler, and Stardust.
Right.
Solid match. I mean, I can't complain about it.
I didn't expect it to be at the beginning of the show. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think they were gonna do it like right then and there. Like,
well, no, I mean, I think they're good for doing it. You know, kicking off the show. You're gonna do it right now. Apparently, this is how Dean Ambrose loses his titles. Well, at least 2 of them. Yeah. If you remember, his U.S. title reign summarily got ended in a battle royal.
Right.
That happened very quickly because he had got into it with the Authority. So, just understand, the Authority will find a way for you to lose your title. Also, this is what I thought too. When I saw him lose, the first thing I thought of was like, okay, this is potential. Now, I'm not saying he's winning Sunday. What I'm saying is they're leaving you the illusion that he has a chance Sunday. Because one thing that happens, mid-card champions who go into world title picture generally lose their titles before they actually get the big belt, right? Very rarely do you get a situation where somebody comes in. I think maybe they've only had it in WWE once or twice where the mid-card champion took his belt into the big event and walked out with both belts.
Exactly.
Now, the big champion has done it. He's only done it twice. Walked away with the mid-card belt, but nobody's ever really walked in with the mid-card belt. If you recall, Cena lost the U.S. title before he took on JBL for the world title. Back when he got his first title reign.
Right.
People like The Rock lost the IC title before they went on to win the world. It's kind of a natural progression, to be honest with you. So, could Dean Ambrose be headed to WrestleMania to face Triple H? I don't know. I'll tell you right now, the way it's shaping up, that triple threat match is going to be way more interesting than I thought it was going to be initially.
Yeah, it is. I definitely agree on that one.
Let's deal with that. The New Day, this is Mark Henry. They call him a Mark Ass Buster.
Oh, Lord, it was awful. I couldn't. I like the New Day. I wasn't with it. I was like, oh my God, just end this. Please. Just fly.
Yep. I think they're kind of spinning their wheels with the New Day. Like they really don't know where it all is going to end up. Big E ends up defeating Mark Henry and possibly injuring Mark Henry. We have to wait to see what's going on with Mark Henry and those ribs. I guess Brie Bella is going to be a babyface on her way out. So she's facing Charlotte, and they're going to drum up the sympathy, and we're going to put Brie Bella right on this Yes Movement rocket.
Yeah, right. You already know. You already know.
She's doing her husband's kicks, which she's always done. And I guess we got to believe that she has a chance to beat Charlotte at Fastlane. Charlotte interrupted Brie's speech when she was talking about things, and it really didn't impress me.
Nah, not too much.
I think the thing I think it's because it's Brie Bella, right?
Right.
So in my head, I'm just like, okay, so you leaving, right? So
exactly.
Why don't you just go?
Well, sometimes, that just doesn't happen. If we know that the person's gone, leaving, and they headed out, and it's like, okay, so when it's going to happen? And then they come out there, and they make speeches, and they have matches, and, they do a lot between the times that we find out that they're making a departure and them actually making their departures. There's a prolonged game of, okay, when is this going to really happen? And it makes you start to question, is it going to happen for real anyway? So, you're right. If you're going to leave, just leave. Like, nobody got time for all that. I want to do one last match, have a big last hurrah, and all that BS. Just go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how that's all going to play itself out. But, I mean, because they might string her along to WrestleMania. I hope this doesn't interfere with Sasha Banks' plans.
Right. That's what I'm thinking, too.
Right now, Sasha's busy with Team Bad, and she's rolling with Becky, and that's fine. I want Sasha Banks at WrestleMania, right?
Exactly.
Now, if they win, we got like 5 to 6 weeks. Actually, yeah, maybe about 6 weeks to build up to WrestleMania. So you can create a decent storyline and get Sasha in a title match with Charlotte, right?
Right.
No problem. We got a 4-hour show at WrestleMania, so it won't be hard to set up a match. Problem is if they still run this Brie thing, and if Brie is going to make her last match at WrestleMania, I do not want that to be in the Divas title match, and I don't want, at least unless it's some kind of fatal 4-way and Sasha still comes out with the belt.
Right.
I'm fine with that. Other than that, no.
Mm-mm. It don't need to be anything else. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Like,
in the words of my friend Busher Bill Winkle, hell to the no. No. Hell no. Okay. I'm sure.
Something wrong with you.
Hey, I'm just saying. Ain't no way. I don't want no parts of that.
Nah. So, I mean, I don't know. They need to do with the Divas division what they did with Raw at WrestleMania and just have separate segments and all that kind of stuff. But I really personally don't think Brie's going to be involved at this point. I think Fastlane is going to be it for her. But then again, who knows? Because we don't know exactly when she's leaving. They just say she's going to leave. So I don't need it to be interrupted by Sasha anyway. I mean, I don't need to interrupting Sasha anyway. It just doesn't need to happen. I mean, let the girl give her due. Let her have what she deserves. Because at the end of the day, that's all that really matters anyway. If Brie's headed out, let her head out. I mean, give her a big bang, let her beat somebody at WrestleMania, and, have the yes and all that good stuff, and then that be it for her. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants to see Sasha anyway, and then Charlotte, of course, has not been the fan favorite lately, of course, but that's heel talk. That's always heel talk. It is what it is. She's just starting to become slightly annoying to me. But I'm guessing that's what it's supposed to be, since she's a heel anyway. It's very easy for heels to get up under my skin. I mean, I'm just saying. But I guess that's just because that's what's supposed to happen. So, then it has face turns and it takes a minute for me to get used to them. I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. We'll see what happens.
Going through, AJ Styles challenges Jericho to a match at Fastlane, which he will respond to at SmackDown. I'll give you the play on that. Heyman comes out, plays a few mind games with Roman Reigns, which is a setup for the Dudleys to attack. So now the Dudleys are getting involved in the Heyman thing?
Right.
I guess it's an old ECW thing, maybe. I don't know.
Ain't no telling.
Here's the thing. I've waited for maybe Heyman to have a posse, for him to have a stable built around Brock, right?
Right.
We waited till the fucking Dudleys came back to do this.
Right. Because you couldn't do this at any other time before that.
Which, I don't think they're necessarily a part of a stable. I think they just helping out an old friend, and they just being heels, right?
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's a stable. But if it is, we waited to use the fucking Dudleys. Okay. Anyway, they attack Reigns. Ambrose comes out, and then it's them. Ambrose may have tried to slip a dirty deeds on Roman Reigns to let him know, hey man, shit's real out these streets.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Here's the thing. Somebody might turn on Sunday also.
Yeah?
That is 100% possible. So, how this triple threat thing gonna go down, I don't know. But somebody could very well turn on Sunday.
I mean, it would make a great bit of sense. It can happen with it making a great bit of sense. Like, it can be 100% logical, and it could be, 100% felt like, yes, oh my God. Yeah, we were waiting for that to happen. Yeah. And then they have time after the fact to let it marinate. That's the one thing I love about the time difference between Fastlane and WrestleMania. Everything's going to have time to kind of marinate a little bit, and you get a taste of you get a chance to get a good feel of the different matches and everything that's going to be set up for WrestleMania. I'm excited about that. I swear, I'm just goosebumps, baby, goosebumps. But it's going to be something that is definitely waiting to be seen. Because I'm telling you, I'm be screaming and all kinds of other stuff. They're going to be like, what's wrong with you? Don't worry about it. Just leave me alone. A heel turn has been it for me. I swear it is. I'm like, some people just can't be a face forever. They just can't.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the Dudleys have reminded everybody that the tables are gone. And that is something that is going to be weird, but the tables are gone forever. They are bad guys, so they need to know they are bad, and they're going to go after the Usos, which I don't understand what Usos were at earlier. That's another story.
Right.
But next week on Raw, the Vincent J. McMahon Legacy of Excellence Award will be given out. And they say the recipient will be very deserving. This is going to be weird because, Vincent J. McMahon is the father of Vincent Kennedy McMahon, so this is like a memorial award. So I think it's something they're going to take serious, but I can't be 100% sure.
Right.
So.
Like, I don't know if it's like... I'm starting to question if it's just like a gimmick or if this is like for real.
Right.
Like, is this like, man of the year type for real, or if this just is kind of like a part of the show created and then kind of put out there for it to continue something else. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we just had to see, huh? Like,
yeah. I mean, there's no real way to kind of tell what that's gonna be.
Right. Ain't no telling. With Vince, you just never know.
No, you cannot. You never can tell with Vince.
You just don't know. So we'll see. I mean, it's gonna be extra random. I give it that. Cause extra random for them to announce it, so it's gonna be extra random for them to give it out. And I'm trying to figure out who they'll give it out to, because if this is for real, right? And this is just me. And I know I'm going to go off in a little bit, but if this is a for real award. Like, who are you finna give this to? You know what I'm saying? Because the one person I can think of that's very well deserving of that award is suspended right now. So I'm trying to figure out, like, how does that work out? I don't know. I guess I leave that up till next week, and we'll just see what happens. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking a little too far into it already, and it was just announced. But that's just how it is. I mean, you just got to know, like, hey, what's going on? This how this gonna go? I just want to know. So, we'll see.
Yeah. No, I agree. We'll see how that works out. Apparently, they trying to get this social outcast thing over because Heath Slater done won another match.
Right.
Now he beat Zack Ryder. Understand that this is jobber versus jobber. But
right.
He still won.
How answer this for me, Keith, because how did this match just randomly happen on Raw? Can you just throw that out there for me? I don't know. I guess I'm thinking too much. Whatever. I don't know. I just needed to know, like, how did this match just randomly happen on Raw? Because I was a little thrown by that. I was like, wait a minute. Huh? Like, so is this what we doing now? I don't know. I guess they just had to have something fill in for the 3 hours. I don't know. I mean, but if you're going to do it like that, then continue to do it like that. But don't let this be a one-time thing, just can let it keep happening. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, because I'm like, man, what? Really? And it was threw me for a little loop. But I guess that's how it's supposed to go. It is what it is. He's slated as Zack Ryder. No. No. It's funny remembering who Zack Ryder once was and then seeing him now, though.
Oh, no. That is the total destruction of a push.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, totally just... This he went from riding high to just... Man, like, oh my gosh, it was just totally spiral downhill, never return. There was like no return after that, you know. And then some people question, like, you know, oh, what did they do? Yeah, and I don't question that with Zack Ryder. I don't question what he did. I had to wonder, like, who he shot, like. Like, who did you kill? What really happened? Ugh. Awful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting of how that's going on. There was another League of Nations sighting. Like, they've been showing up. I thought they was dead and gone, but apparently they're there. Sin Cara's back, so he's showing up in tag matches with Kalisto. So basically, the League of Nations show up. Sin Cara shows up with Kalisto, then they find a third partner. Happened on SmackDown, happened on Raw. This time on Raw, it was Neville. On SmackDown, it was Dolph. Same result every match. League of Nations won.
Right.
I don't know where that's going. Maybe Alberto gets his belt back. Maybe he doesn't. I don't necessarily know. You would think Kalisto, this would be the match where Kalisto solidifies that he stays champ, but now the way the booking's been going and with the entire League of Nations, even though maybe somewhere in this there's a turn on somebody, I don't know, but we'll see. Right. We'll roll that down later. Big Show takes on Braun Strowman. Big Show wins by DQ. But after the match, Ryback runs out and helps Big Show because the Wyatt family's jumping on him. Then Kane comes out. So we set that up for Fastlane. It's going to be Kane, Ryback, and the Big Show versus the Wyatts. A match you will not care about, but it seems like you should.
Right.
It is a match full of mismanaged people and gimmicks, but you know, it's all there. So that's going down. And I mean, that was pretty much it for Raw. Not a lot going down this week.
No, not really.
I didn't really get to see TNA this week, which I feel bad about. I'm so behind, and I have to really try to catch up on the old TNA. But it just don't compel me to catch up, Keish.
Yeah.
Nothing about it makes me like, I gotta catch up with it. It's like, once it fell off my cable package, it was like, yeah. I know Matt Hardy's champ. Like, that's enough. I keep up with Matt Hardy, so I know Matt Hardy's champ. All the information I really need right now. Matt Hardy's champ. Also, don't know if that's necessarily the greatest thing for your organization. Hey, Matt Hardy is carrying a championship.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Rebby is thick to the mug now, though.
You ain't got no sense. Just bye. But see, this is the most when I'm done with you, Keith. Just no.
But, I mean, this week is called catch up. Like, really, I have I've been behind on so many different things. So I would catch up on all the projects. Kind of like sports, that project has to get caught up. New Japan report needs to get caught up. So, speaking of which, there's an event going down this weekend, which starts tonight. Friday at 6:30 in the afternoon, so probably about 6:30 in the morning here. Honor Rising. There's 2 days. There's 2 dates for Honor Rising, and it's going to be a co-show between New Japan and Ring of Honor. So that is something you might want to check out and see, because they plan on doing both of those. Fly from Tokyo at the Korakuen Hall, so they will both air on New Japan World. Also, the one on the 19th, the Friday show, which is, I guess, in the morning, which is in about 5 hours after we record, airs on Samurai TV. I'm not sure what Samurai TV is. I don't know if that's an app or if there's just some other way to watch. Oh, no, it is a way to watch all kinds of Japanese programming and fighting things that come on in Japan. A lot of Japanese wrestling comes on. Wow, I actually might need to look this up. People, check out Samurai TV. I've discovered something totally new. Watch what happens when you click a link.
Man, it is what it is. That's how you find stuff, man.
Right. So, yeah. So New Japan has 2 shows tonight and tomorrow. So I will watch those. I will have you some recap in the latest New Japan report, which we haven't did one since the first one, which I like to commend everybody. The first one was very successful. So I hope that we can keep that momentum going. And also, like I said, we'll catch up on Lucha Underground also, because that is something we are very much behind on. And the new season has kicked off on El Rey, so we need to kind of be in the mix for that.
Right. I agree.
Which they've already re-upped for season 3. Like, they've announced there's going to be a season 3. Now,
man,
I'm interested in how this is going to work out, because they spending a ton of money over there. Like, word on the street is this costs like $400,000 a week to produce their show. And mind you,
$400,000 a week.
Yeah, and it is not like Raw, where they have like 30,000 people in the arena paying for the cost. Well, actually, probably like 10 or 15,000, but still pony up money to help kind of cover the cost. That's not the biggest venue in the world, so I'm sure, and most of them is probably sitting there on promo. You know what I mean? Because it's a TV show,
right?
So yeah, I can imagine. That's probably crazy.
Yeah. It's foolish to me. That shit's just good Lord, honey. Let me get off my soapbox before I start acting out and start thinking that's just I ain't know all that.
Hey, act out, because shoot, that is crazy.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I ain't know, you learn something new every day. Well, I'm telling you, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, called a wrestling company sinks every day. A wrestling company dies every minute.
Yeah, you right. Start out in somebody's backyard. All right.
That is about it for the first part of the show. We will be back with the news and notes. We've already talked about some of the news. We'll get a more in-depth with the news. Then we are going to preview WWE Fastlane. Give you a brief history of the new event that is basically in its second year. It is a replacement for Elimination Chamber. And we will set you up for everything, because this is how we're going to roll into WrestleMania, man.
Right.
This is going to create the tide that sets up WrestleMania. So all the matches matter. Everything's up for grabs except for the world title, which the world champ will be sitting back watching, figure out who his opponent's going to be, and we'll see if the crowd buys the opponent. Because that's a major part of all of this.
Yeah.
This match finishes. Does the crowd buy the opponent? See, I know they'll be happy with Brock, right?
Right.
They'll be surprised with Ambrose, but they'll mess with it. I don't think they're still going to mess with Roman Reigns.
No.
Not saying that Roman won't win it. I'm saying I don't think they're going to mess with Roman Reigns if he wins. But we'll talk about that later as we preview the show. Stay back on the other end. We got some stuff going down.
Oh,
hey, man. I think we got a good show rolling. So catch us on the other side of the break. Peace.
Just like what we were talking about, everybody sets their goals high, and look what happens. This isn't just ours. This is everybody's. This is everybody's. This is what you need, Ted DiBiase. You need a little bit of family. That's what we are. When we get together, we kick people's teeth in together.
This is not the $1 million belt. This is the Hulkamaniac belt. This is not purchased. These belts, this Hulkamaniac team can't be bought. You gotta fight, kick, and grind for it. And Hulk Hogan, we are gonna fight, kick, and grind for you all the way.
You know something, multi-million-dollar man? Now that we're winding down to the Survivor Series, now that it's not that far off, I really like the fact that you're being backed into a corner by your own team. These guys aren't a bunch of has-beens like you tried to drill into the powers of Pain's mind. These are the best in the world, brother. These are the best at what they do. These are the WWF Tag Team Champions #1. I'm glad you had to cut an extra check to the powers of Pain. And as far as Jake the Snake's DDT stretcher service, arenas all around the country, multi-million-dollar man, his opponents are getting that long, slow ride in that rolling coffin as the ambulance wheels out of the arenas, as the red lights come on. I can't help but think you're going to be the next victim of the DDT. Zeus, you're mine. Jake the Snake, how are you going to get him in the
bottom
DDT?
line is this, my man. A man that's dying of thirst has to have water. A dog that's starving has to have food. A child that's crying has got to have some attention. I have got to have you, Ted DiBiase.
You know, we all have our needs. We all have our wants. But one thing I know, multi-million-dollar man, winding down into this thing, you're going to be on the phone. You're going to try to get a hold of Jake the Snake. You're going to try to get a hold of Demolition. Nobody here sells out. We live by the
birthdays.
Birthdays!
Who has a birthday in wrestling? It is the 18th of February today when we are recording. You'll probably hear this on the 19th, which, hey, the little bull, El Torito, celebrates a birthday on this wonderful Friday. The late, great Hall of Famer, Big John Studd, celebrate, well, you know, he will be celebrating the birthday on Friday. Then we move on to Saturday. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Gail Kim, will be celebrating a birthday.
Awesome.
Gail Kim will be turning 39. Sunday, the same day as the wonderful pay-per-view Fastlane, Brodus Clay will be celebrating a birthday. Somebody call his mama, also known as Titus now in TNA.
Right.
Carlito will be celebrating a birthday. So, you know, it's good to know those things. And that is it for the wonderful birthday segment. And let's get into the news.
Lord Jesus.
Titus O'Neil suspension gets reduced to 60 days instead of 90.
Why?
Not great, but better.
Yeah, true. But still.
Hey, man. They said Vince was going to fire him. So, it's kind of like, look, better that than fired. That's all I can say.
Exactly.
At this point.
All right. Yeah.
Speaking of which, a lot of people want to say that the suspension was racially motivated and this, that, and other. I'm not
Lord Jesus. Just, can we please?
Trust me, I like talking about race, right? Anybody who knows me knows I love talking about race. And I love it when you get uncomfortable when I talk about the race and the racisms. I can safely say this ain't one. That ain't one of the equations. Vince was pissed. Why he was pissed? Hey, this is what I got from everybody involved. It was a serious moment. Vince was in character, and they was trying to sell the whole thing of, hey, this guy's retiring, it's jacked up, and whatever impulse Titus had, it threw shit off, and Vince just didn't like it.
Right.
So they said Triple H talked him down for firing him. Hey, most of the people I know that's close to the situation say, hey, something should have happened. So I don't know it's 60 days. I still think the penalty was too stiff, but you do got to remember that this is a dude who operates very emotionally.
Yeah, true.
Right? People have been fired for things like that. So it's his company. You can do whatever you want to do.
Right.
He feel his conviction. He was right. It's jacked up. I don't think it's fair, but I don't think it's racial.
No, not at all.
Now, do they do racist shit? Yes. You know what I mean? Crab Tab is a racist gimmick. There's some shucking and jiving that goes on, but I don't think this suspension was racial.
Exactly.
So, we'll leave that at that. Wade Barrett is reportedly leaving the WWE. He has given his notice. When his contract is up, he is not re-signing. He is going to pursue other things. He is tired of how he's being used, and he wants to see what else is out there. Does that mean he's going to continue to wrestle? I don't know. But right now, he is pondering. He's just about to hang it up.
Right.
So, I'm going to say this. I don't know if he's been injured or not, but at least that's what I thought. You know, especially like this weird League of Nations storyline is jacked all the way up. Hey, man, sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't.
Right.
Like, he'll be there one week and won't be there the next. It is totally unexplained.
Right. They don't have no kind of explanation. Actually, they pretend like it just doesn't. It's not happening. Like, they have a total disregard for it even happening. Like, we just supposed to sit there and pretend with them. Like, oh, yeah, you know, no, and nobody's noticing that Wade Barrett's not there. That's just not happening. You know, no, that's not how life works. But, you know, I guess they think that's how we think life works. You can make things and people disappear and just don't have any kind of explanation for it and think that we're just going to sit there and go along with it. Nah, that ain't what happened.
Yeah. There's a lot of people speculate the reason. He's had some injuries. That's true. He's had some major injuries. And a lot of fans speculate of that is why maybe his push hasn't never worked out. I'll say this. I still think he might be the most mismanaged superstar ever, right?
Right.
With all the potential in the world. When he came in as the leader of the Nexus, I'll tell you where they screwed up. One, he didn't wrestle enough. Nobody in the Nexus wrestled enough.
Right.
Two, he only could win by cheating with like the other 6 dudes in the Nexus. He needed to win matches clean, especially against lesser opponents. Yes, he should cheat against John Cena, but he probably should be able to get by on beating, you know, Zack Ryder without Heath Slater tripping him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that was the logic. Then they went to the core because they split up the Nexus, and then CM Punk got the Nexus, and Wade Barrett went over to SmackDown. He had the core. They didn't push them right. His best run was as Bad News, but they cut that short. I don't know. So I don't think he ever really got the right run. I think he has all the gifts, though. I think he has the size. I think he has the look. I think he has the verbals down. I think what he may do, he may go somewhere else. He may peruse the indie scene for a while because he can get some really big checks on the indie scene. And can get those prior to his 90-day, non-compete clause being up. Then flip that and then go over to, will he go to TNA or Ring of Honor? I don't know. Or he probably will wrestle overseas. I think he's the guy who will fit in well in New Japan. Like that whole bare knuckle brawler thing that he, which is legit. I think he'd go over to New Japan and be just a big bruising foreign white guy. And I think he could stand tall over there.
Right.
I think he could really make, a good living over there. I think keep the similar gimmick. They don't have anybody over there like doing the British accent thing. And I would be the big bad Brit. And I think I would run that over in New Japan and make him a big heel. Somebody that, Okada could have to contend with and worry about. And he would put the champ in legit danger.
Right.
And we'd be off and rolling. I think he could make money similar or more than he was making in the WWE. Because I think that's the thing, too. When you come out of WWE, man, you start looking for money. Those indies pay well in the beginning because you still have that WWE clout, but that fades after a while, and then they ain't got the checks for you like they used to.
Mm-hmm.
ROH ain't got that kind of money. TNA ain't got that kind of money. ROH is invested and willing to put up money, and because of their partnership with New Japan, them in New Japan can split some costs, but then you travel to both countries. I don't know how much Wade misses his native land. I don't know if he plans on wrestling over there. I'm not sure how much the organizations over there have and how much they willing to invest in the talent. I don't know what advice he's getting from people on the outside. I know him and Drew used to be a tag team back in the day when they was over in Jolly O, England. So maybe Drew telling him, look, man, you come over to TNA and we can work something out and we could be some kind of thing. I don't know. But we'll see how it all plays out. But Wade Barrett is leaving the company, basically, for what? From all credible sources, he's leaving the company.
Of course.
So, Daniel Bryan did an interview with Good Morning America this week that was pretty telling. He discussed his issues, him and Brie. He really breaks down, like, them trying to hide some of his issues, them trying to hide the post-concussion seizures. We also learned that Brie is going to be leaving the company, which we discussed earlier in the first part of the show. But we don't know if she's leaving at Fastlane or WrestleMania, but she is definitely leaving and leaving soon. Her and Brian going to start their family, and, I wish them all the best. I joke and I clown the Bellas as much as anybody, but I wish them all the best. I hope the best for Brian. Brie, I know it's probably a really tough time for her. Her husband's going through this. Her sister's at home with a broken neck. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
Kind of like traveling and rolling in the wind. So I can imagine that this is probably rough for her. Like the people that she really roll with and travel with and do everything with are not available like they were. Hell, Cena ain't even around right now. So, it's a lot going on there. But, I wish them all the best. Brian injuries were probably more serious than we thought. And I hope that, doesn't manifest itself to anything later. On some positive, fun news, the WWE, now this has been rumored, this has been going around the sheets for a minute, but it's legit. They announced their global Cruiserweight tournament that's going to air on the WWE Network this summer. Basically, they're going to pull talent from all over the world. They're going to get some guys off the indies. They're going to have some guys from the current roster, guys from NXT. A lot of what's going to be built based on this relationship that WWE has with Evolve through Gabe Sapolsky. So, they've been scouring talent, and Triple H been going to a lot of the Evolve shows lately. I think they're going to put together a really bomb tournament. Are they going to revive the Cruiserweight title? Who knows? But I think with an abundance of smaller wrestlers that you have, this could be bananas, man.
Yeah, true.
Bananas. And I think it's going to pull a lot of eyes to the WWE Network. And a lot of internet fans and a lot of indie fans who generally don't rock with the WWE as much will probably sign on for this because they're going to want to see their guy, especially if it's a who's who. I'm not sure if it's an 8-man or a 16-man tournament, but this thing could go out to be bananas. Also, I appreciate the WWE in doing this, and I appreciate the fact that, man, they're looking for something. They're going to diversify the programming, and they're going to really give you a good glimpse of wrestling and how it looks around the world. And this has got to be Triple H influence, right? Like, this is the imprint of NXT and everything. This has got to be the influence of Hunter. But,
yeah, it do.
This tournament is gonna be bananas. Then there is Jerry Lawler, who's having an interesting week. On one side, he's opening a new bar and grill on Beale Street in Memphis. I will tell you how it was in July when I go down there, because I go down there for the family reunion for Nicole every year, and I go to Jackson, Tennessee, but I always stop at Memphis. So I am going to Lawler's spot. That is part of the trip now. I have seen everything that the King has to offer in Memphis. I've been to Graceland, so I need to go to the other King spots. I need to go to BB King's, and I need to go to the King Jerry Lawler's. But it's going now.
Yeah.
Also, Jerry Lawler apparently is supporting Donald Trump for president and has been getting death threats ever since. Can't make this up, people. Cannot make this up.
Oh, man. No. Oh, Lord. Why? Keith, I'll tell you. I don't know. This is why. Keith, stop giving the news. That's what you need to do. Stop giving the news. Just, because I can't handle it. Can't handle it, can't deal.
What, man? I'm just saying.
No, just, I can't. I can't handle it, I can't deal. I swear to you, every time we had a news segment, it is more, I'm starting to see a pattern in this now. And it's a little disheartening, but it is. Like, we had a news segment, and I swear to you, at least 50%, you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear that stuff. So, positive note, did you know Brooke Tessmacher is pregnant?
No, I did not know that.
She made her pregnancy announcement yesterday. Her, and I'm guessing that's her husband, West, they are expecting. So, congratulations to Brooke Tessmacher. That's awesome. Had a nice video, too. Had a nice video announcement and everything. It wasn't just like, hey, I'm pregnant. Like, it had a whole video with it. It was pretty great, though. I'm like, hey, you want to announce, you having a baby, go all out. Yeah. So, well, yeah. I think I throw a little bit of positivity into this, just a little bit.
Hey, I had positive news, which I'm still going to drop. Bret Hart surgery was a success. Now,
awesome.
Take that for positivity. Now,
hey, I don't know what you're going to pull out your hat, okay? Just saying.
Completely removed, and the cancer has not spread, meaning he won't need chemo or radiation.
That's awesome. Yay!
That they caught it early, and it was slow growing, and he should be fine. So now, that's positive.
Hey, you always drop the bombs first. You blow everything up, and then we sit around and walk around in the aftermath. Hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Everything goes kapay, and then we just sit there with hard hats on, like, okay, what's next? Yeah, I'm with it, though. Congratulations, Bret Hart. Oh, so excited! Now, that's exciting news. I love hearing it. Oh! I know this is not wrestling related, but Big Ange died. She passed from her fight with her fights with cancer. She died yesterday. I think it was yesterday morning. So rest in peace, Big Ange. You're going to be missed. She is actually one of my favorite character people, from reality TV. For those of you that did not watch Mob Wives, she was on Mob Wives. And she was also on the latest season of Couples Therapy with her husband. And that's how I ended up getting into Big Ange and the Big Ange movement. So rest in peace, Big Ange. You're gonna be missed, man. You're definitely gonna be missed. I'm sitting here talking about positive stuff.
Yeah, I'm about to say, who got the bad news now?
Hey, man, they're just sorry. Sorry, people. Sorry. Yeah, I gotta stop doing that. sometimes, man, I just jump my guns, man. I don't know. I need to get my life together. That's what I need to do. So, let's get into the preview. Are we done with the news yet?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We're good. That's it.
I was like, let's get into the preview.
Life in the Fast Lane. WWE's new pay-per-view that will go before WrestleMania. This is the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania. So, after that, it's just Raw and SmackDown all the way. Right?
Right.
Apparently, there are still plenty of... If you want to go to Fastlane, there are plenty of seats.
Really?
Yeah. They not filling that mug up. Okay. It is going to be live for the Quicken Lowe's Arena in Cleveland. That is part of the reason. When you go to Cleveland, I mean, you got to expect you're going to get Cleveland-type things to happen to you. Was that slander at Cleveland? Yes.
Right.
I think it's the most pissed off place on earth. That is my opinion. If I got any fans to Cleveland, only thing I tell you, get out while you can. That's all. The ship is sinking. All right. Anyway, so this is the second annual Fastlane. Let's go down the card. We'll break it down, and we got 7 matches that's currently booked, and I'm not sure which is going to end up on the pre-show, but we can go down the line and talk about these guys and talk about what we expect. Match number 1: Kalisto defends the United States Championship against Alberto Del Rio. I said Del Rio. All right. That might be slightly racist. A 2 out of 3 falls match. 2
out of 3 falls. I was actually glad that he suggested 2 out of 3 falls. When was the last time we seen a 2 out of 3 falls match?
It's been a while. I'm betting they're probably going to do about 23 minutes or so, if I'm guessing. And each fall is probably going to be about 7 to 8 minutes, somewhere in that range, like 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, kind of like that.
Right.
Maybe the second fall is even shorter, like 5 minutes, and then we spend a bulk of our time on the third fall. So, expect to see some of that nature. I don't know why I think Kalisto is going over, but I'm going to go with Kalisto's probably going to go over.
I actually was going to do the same thing. I actually believe that he's going to retain. I don't really know exactly why, but yeah, I seriously think he's going to retain. I don't think that Del Rio is going to win the title. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't think they've given us any indication to believe he should maintain or have the title. So, yeah. I don't even know what League of Nations is doing. Right?
Right.
Like, exactly. What's the next step? What is their angle? Right now, they're fighting other foreigners. So, I don't really get the idea of where they're going, or if they're trying to set anything forward. Interesting. It'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I think now League of Nations may get involved till the ref kicks them out. Sin Cara may be down there, and maybe they introduce somebody else that'll help them fight off the League of Nations.
Right.
And then we have that. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Kalisto, and it probably goes the whole 3 falls. Next up, Charlotte will defend her Divas title against Brie Bella. We know Brie leaving, so I'm going to say Charlotte retains the title.
Of course.
Fair enough.
Of course.
WrestleMania, Charlotte versus Sasha Banks.
Sasha. Sorry.
So I'm going to say Charlotte retains the title. All right. Speaking of which, another Divas match. 2 Divas matches on the show. Go ladies. Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks will take on the remaining members of Team Bad, which is Naomi and Tamina.
I think it'll be. I think that I give it to Sasha and Becky. They're gonna be awesome together as a tag team. Sorry, I just thought about that. Yeah, I give it to Sasha and Becky. You're gonna go give it to the faces of the night. Like, hey, oh y'all. I just hope they don't throw one of these divas well, they're not gonna throw the title match into the pre-show, but I do hope they don't throw this tag team match into the pre-show. That would totally suck.
No, I think Sasha Banks is one of the biggest draws of the division. I think she has to win because she's got to go on. She needs this momentum, and this is establishing her as the babyface.
Right.
It's a slow burn. Her and Becky gonna start off. They're not gonna like each other, but they figuring it out. They're gonna work through it, and they both want to defeat Team Bad. Naomi, man, whoo, buddy. I was on SmackDown tonight. Oh,
you ain't got off
that Uso's a lucky man. That girl's bigger than a Snicker.
Yeah, I'm done with you, Keith. I'm just where I am. No. Continue with the preview. Just.
Oh, I was about to go gush over Tamina too.
No. Just
you know,
no.
Tamina, how I like him. Now
Just no.
Okay.
Let's not do this.
All right. So the creep section of the Ringtime Pro Wrestling Podcast. He does not want to indulge my inner creepiness. That is fine.
Hey, you ain't the only one out there. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of creeps right down there with you. They're right there with you.
IC title match. Kevin Owens will defend his newly won IC title against Dolph Ziggler. Dolph has beaten Kevin a couple of times in the past couple of weeks, and that's what makes this match interesting. Keish, who you got and why?
Kevin. I think that Kevin will carry the title into WrestleMania, and we might see a repeat of this match, though. I'm not saying that that's definitely what's going to happen, but I feel like they're going to have something big going on for the Intercontinental title, because, of course, this is WrestleMania. I mean, why wouldn't you? So it's going to become an interesting situation, but I feel like Kevin will be the person that is going to take this belt with him to the big stage. So I think Kevin will retain, and I think that's why they gave him the belt back in the first place.
Yeah, I mean that will do it. I think personally, I can't go against Kevin, and there's nothing to make me think that he's gonna lose. Nothing makes me think he's gonna lose. Dolph is Dolph, right?
Right.
How they plan to treat Dolph Ziggler is how they plan to treat Dolph Ziggler. So, you know that ain't changing.
No, not at all. I mean, I'm not saying that he might not play a hand in whatever plans they have for the Intercontinental title for WrestleMania, but I just don't think that he'll win the title at Fastlane and carry it into WrestleMania. I think they let Kevin Owens handle that. So, I mean, granted, we'll just have to see how everything goes as far as the title defense for WrestleMania goes and everything. But Kevin is going to be the person that's going to is definitely going to be the person that makes this happen. I love Dolph. Don't get me wrong. I love Dolph. He's an incredible wrestler. I actually am a big fan of Dolph, but that's just not going to happen right now. Not for him.
Yeah, no, I think Ziggs. Eventually, I'll figure out what to do with Ziggs. Right.
Right.
I think he's a great talent. They view it as he's been a world champ, and it's kind of funny. Like the perception of the company and perception of us is so different. Like the outside world, like, hey man, he just ain't been given the shot that we think he deserves. The company, like, look man, we didn't let this dude be world champ like twice.
Exactly.
Y'all tripping.
That's how they see it. Like, wait a minute, have we forgotten that he had a world title? Like that's exactly what they'll say to a fan. Like he's held a world title. Like
his big push was going to come, he had the concussion. And
right.
It threw everything off. And that was like the worst thing for him. Like the Edge thing, nobody really count. But like when he beat Del Rio and it was crazy after WrestleMania and he was on his way, the concussion kind of took him out the game.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to go with him after that.
That sucks, though.
No, and the thing is, it's not like he's been injured since then.
Right.
But they won't go with him. They won't go with him at all.
That's really awful. It is. It's really awful. That sucks. That really sucks. But I mean, they'll find a place for him. I think they definitely will find a footing for Dolph eventually. Something that is it's something that's definitely more than what it is right now. So I don't count him out. You know, you never count him out, because his in-ring abilities are too much for them to just ignore, you know. And they can all day long if they wanted to, but I don't think they will. Yeah. Not Dolph.
So, yeah, no, and plus I think they're going to get another match out of this, right?
Right.
Without Dolph winning, they're going to get another match out of this. So, you know, I'm confident that this will work out with Kevin, and they'll probably still do something else at WrestleMania, or they'll be a part of a bigger match, right? AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho in the rubber match. Who you got?
AJ. Oh, yeah. Keith, have you seen the Phenomenal One gloves? Oh man, yeah. I want every pair. I want every pair.
AJ is about to get paid beyond belief. See, the thing about him is that he been working at TNA, and I don't know how they cut the merch in TNA.
Right.
But I know the WWE, their distribution is so wide, and that WWE shop works so well, and they fans buy monstrous amounts of merch, and that's that royalty setup. Like, you know, a lot of guys, when they went back in the day to WCW, they didn't have the royalty situation set up the same way, so they were like, hold on, like they were making more in the ring, but they didn't have that extra income covered like they did in the WWE.
Right.
In WWE, you have your contract and what you get paid to do in the ring, but that merch is a second check. That's like a bonus money. So it's like, yo, you might see like at the end of, because they do it like I think at the end of every month. So hey, you done made maybe $80,000 this month, but then there's this check like
right.
that you wasn't even counting on. Because there's people like Zack Ryder and stuff like that used to move a whole lot of merch. I mean, honestly, too, that is a good way to get... If you really want your guy to get pushed, you need to buy some T-shirts.
Exactly.
That's what happened with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens only lasted NXT for like 2 months, basically because, hey, them KO shirts started moving.
Right.
And they was like, oh, who is this guy?
Exactly.
Like, his momentum is so big and his movement is so strong. We can't just have him out here, you know what I mean, nickel and diamond.
No, not at all. It all comes with the fan base. I mean, take in mind, AJ Styles already had his own fan base before he got to WWE. So these are the same ones that was watching him in TNA and was watching him, you know, when he was wrestling in Japan and all that kind of stuff. Like, people have been following AJ throughout this entire time. So, of course, you know, as soon as they know that there's now merchandise that can be bought at the shop, at the WWE shop, like, oh, they're like jumping all over it. Like, I've seen them gloves, and I was like, oh my God, I want every. I think they come in like 2 or 3 different pairs. I want every pair. Like, and of course, you know, they're going to create the T-shirts and everything. So if it hasn't already, it's coming, and you're just going to see it all over the place. People love AJ, so it's definitely a great move for him. Like, I don't know if he realizes like the magnitude of what's about to happen to him, but like, I'm pretty sure this is one of the reasons why he decided to make the jump to WWE. So we'll definitely see how that goes down. But I'm definitely getting a pair of them gloves. I'm just saying. At some point in time in life, I'm getting a pair of those gloves. I want those gloves. I've always wanted phenomenal one gloves, though. Like, ever since I've seen him in TNA with them, I've always wanted a pair. Yeah. You know, even when it was hot, I wanted a pair. Like, I was like, I'll wear them in the air conditioning. I'm just weird like that. It is what it is, though. Hey, I'm a fan. What can I say? I am a fan. Yes. Go wrestling. Let's continue with the preview, shall we? Wait.
Yeah. So, you never picked a winner. You never picked a winner of the match. Just want to let you know that. So,
hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
AJ will beat Jericho because he's debuting and he's hot right now. He's the new toy. I think they gave Jericho that win the second time just to try to make it compelling, right?
Right.
Just to make you care about it and give you a shot. Now, will Miz show up? Yes. They might as well make it a triple threat.
Right.
I don't understand why not. But the only reason they're probably not going to make it a triple threat because there's nothing at stake. Right? Like, if there was a shot at the IC title or something, maybe. But since there's absolutely nothing at stake, there's no point in making it a triple threat.
No, because then it's just three people just fighting in the ring. Yeah.
Now, because there's rumored that they might bring Money in the Bank back to WrestleMania. I wouldn't mind all three of them being in the Money in the Bank match.
Not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
Something to consider. That is...
if they bring Money in the Bank back to WrestleMania, please, Jesus, don't replace the Money in the Bank pay-per-view with another pay-per-view. I would be so mad. Oh, my God, I would be so mad. I'll just be like, seriously? No, man, that's not the point. I swear to you, Keith, I wouldn't. I'm already mad, and it ain't even happened yet. Like, because I'm just thinking of the possibility, like, you know, if they put Money in the Bank back at WrestleMania, then that means they'll be getting rid of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Please do not replace it with another pay-per-view. Just let that be some time in between pay-per-views. Like, Jesus. I can't, man. Just my 2 cents, but you know, I always got to get it. Just a little bit. But, I mean, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see another pay-per-view be created out of nothing. You know, because Fastlane came out of nowhere. So it's just kind of like, okay. They take it, pay-per-view, they get rid of one, and then they replace it with another. Like, just do not replace Money in the Bank. Just let that be, like, some free time in between, and let time develop between the other pay-per-views. Like, just let it be. I know it generates money and all that kind of stuff. I get the business end of it, but still, just, yeah. At some point, something got to give. So, random interlude into the preview, which, you know, I've been doing that. I done did this. This is my second time now. I need to chill out.
Our big pointless match. Ryback, Big Show, and Kane takes on the Wyatt family. Luke Harper, Rowan, and Strowman will be in the match. Apparently, Bray is just going to be outside chilling like the manager in this 6-man tag affair.
Yeah. I don't know about that. Right now, we're talking about big versus big, really, because they are all huge. I really don't know who to choose out this match. I want to say the Wyatt family. You know, I really seriously wanted to say the Wyatt family. Because I feel like they have a push for them coming, you know? And I think this is going to be the start of that. Because I don't know what's going to happen as far as WrestleMania goes, but I got a good feeling that all of them are going to be involved. So I definitely want to say the Wyatt family. Yeah, I seriously think that's going to be the winner of this match. Like, because I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, Ryback and Kane and Big Show, I mean, what would be the point? That's my question. Like, what really would be the point in this? So, we'll see. I mean, can't do anything else. Just got to know what's going to happen. But we'll figure it out when we see the show. You know? But yeah, I mean, to me, it just makes sense to why a family wins. I really can't even give like a full long explanation. It just makes sense. That's just me. That it just makes sense.
Yeah, no, I can't give you another reason why anybody else wins. Right? So that's that. So now we got the big match, right? We got Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar. The triple threat match to determine the number one contender for the world title, who will face Triple H at WrestleMania 32. This one is kind of, I give you multiple scenarios. Now, ideally, a lot of people think Roman Reigns wins this match. Okay. Now, remember our Wyatt family. Remember Brock Lesnar and Wyatt family have issues. Could this is how we get Brock and Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania? I don't know. Because coming out of Royal Rumble, I thought that's where we were headed. But we've deviated so far away from it. If we go back to it, I don't even know if it makes sense. The logic, the way it's been trending, my money would be Brock Lesnar winning the match and going to WrestleMania, and Dean or Roman turning on each other, and then them two having a match at WrestleMania.
Excuse me. Yeah, pretty much. But I don't know, man. I get real skeptical about what they do with people, you know?
Yeah.
You get real skeptical about that.
The only sense I can make out of it, though, is if Roman turns. Not Dean.
Right.
Roman would have to
turn.
Because, one, the people are not behind Roman, period, anymore.
No, they're not. Not at all.
He needs to turn. Okay. Flip side of that is that Brock could go on to face Triple H. It's big money. We'll all expect Brock to win. Triple H will pull out all the stops. Because he's a COO, he will put obstacles in Brock's face.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it'll be, right?
Right.
And he'll have to prove that he can beat Brock, yada, yada, yada. Now, that all being said and well laid out as that sounds, they'll probably go with Roman Reigns.
Yeah, probably so. But I really hope that if they do, that they make it a heel turn. Like a complete heel. I really hope that if that's the direction they're going with, that they make this interesting. Because Roman right now is not even showing like even the littlest parts of being a heel. Like there's nothing that suggests that this is even going to happen. So if they're going to go that route, I really feel like that they should allow him to not be the good guy, you know? I really do. So it gets really sensitive. And the only reason why I say that is because people love Dean and they love Brock, you know? They love them both. Now with Roman right now, not so much. So it really just is a toss-up as far as, do you want him to stay who he is, or do you want him to kind of pick up the pieces of where he left off as far as the title picture goes? So
here's the thing with Roman turning. If he turns, he can't face Triple H. You know what I mean? That's the only weird thing. Well, I don't know. He could, but I don't know if they could book it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I don't know if they are equipped to book that kind of a match. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm gonna go. I don't know.
Right.
I don't want to. You know, it's kind of like there's things I don't want to see, but I ideally, I guess the smart money would be Brock going to there, but like I said, I can see them going with Roman. I don't see them going with Dean. Dean would be interesting. Dean would be the most interesting thing because I think the crowd would go for Dean going to WrestleMania to take on Triple H.
Right.
Because Dean is so anti everything that they think, but I think they'd find a way to screw that up. Like they'd start pushing him too hard, and then people would catch on to it.
Yeah, true. That is true.
But we'll see how it all turns out. That's what we got Sunday for. So we'll give it that. We'll be back next week with the full breakdown of everything that happens. I'll probably be back Monday with a New Japan report. And that'll be that. So with that, we are out. Keish, any parting shots, salutations?
I just encourage everybody to please watch Fastlane, because we're definitely about to see those beginnings of rolling into WrestleMania, and I'm excited about it. I'm definitely going to be watching. I'm definitely going to see what's going to go down and everything. Also, everybody, please be safe out there. You know, take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones and all that, you know. I only say that just because I don't really, every time I give parting shout-outs, of course, I thank you for listening to the show and everything. I just want you to know that we care, man. We care here at Ring Time Pro Wrestling. We want you to know that y'all are loved and appreciated, and we just want you to know, listen to us in the car. Listen to us in the car, you know, on your way home, or whatever the case may be. You know, please just keep it safe out there. Keep yourself, you know, make sure you take care of yourselves out there and all that kind of stuff. It is what it is, you know. I'm taking a little leaf from life and trust and believe. It's starting to become excited. So I definitely want to want everybody to know that this is what it is, man. This is what it is. So, of course, I always tell Keith I love him, too. You know, he's my brother. I can't help it. It is what it is. I'm emotional in life. You do what you got to do.
Well, I love you, too. And we are out.
Bye.
Ric Flair, and here is the World Heavyweight Champion.
You know, girls, why don't you give it to him one more time? Woo! That's who's standing here today. The World Heavyweight Champion. Only one. And you're looking. Oh, girls, I can't stand it. Now I gotta talk. We all gotta be quiet. Nikita Koloff, we've only just begun. That's the end of it. Dusty Rhodes, don't ever make a mistake of sticking your nose in my business. If I'm down and out, I'll get up and take care of myself. So Dusty Rhodes, remember, when you walk out here, talking Ric Flair, don't think you can walk in that ring and give me a hand or try to help me out and ease the tension in our relationship. Philadelphia, I'm going to tear you down. Pensacola, Florida, when I get to town, we're going to treat all you women, the way women ought to be treated. Because the NWA and some real men are going to take that Civic Center apart, and then we all going to be over at Rodeo, driving the women wild. Miami Beach, get ready. We on tour, and we're doing it better than anybody else alive. Now, Buddy Landell, it's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio looking at a guy out here hollering my name when last year I spent more money on spilled liquor in bars from one side of this world to the other than you made. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. There's only one. Jim Crockett, when you brought me here 10 years ago, you knew that I was going to be the biggest star of them all. It cost a lot of money to bring the real world champion on location. Because you see, when you got the Andersons, you know, we're family. Only an Arnie and Ricky. We do it better than everybody else. Don't wrap me up. The National Tag Team Champions, the World Tag Team Champions, Ric Flair, the World Champion,
Dusty Rhodes, the world TV champion, the National Wrestling Alliance. We're just better than anybody else alive. One question. Girls all around the world keep asking me the same question. They all want to know. They all want to know. And my cousin Arnie's the one that put this across. They all want to know what's causing all this. You know what it is? Intensified beef products. You're talking about all men. Ric Flair. Woo! Woo!
The World Heavyweight Champion.
Woo! All right! Woo! One more time, girls! Rick! Woo! Oh, man, I'm on fire!